Hey everyone, it's time to go mining. It's me T and I wanna go out to have a trip inside the mines. Cause why not? I wanna get myself some more stuff. It's a wonderful day in Chickleton and we're just going down the mine and see what's in there. So we already know that face over there, we know the chicken head, we know the farm over there and wait, that looks totally creepy. Oh, damn. Hello everybody, it's me T, your host, and you're watching another tutorial and welcome inside my tutorial world for 1.10. So let's turn around and have a look at this thing over here. Well, this is my mob farm design, and it's based on a couple of other mob farms which have been out there. One of them based on Ilmango's creeper only and skelly farm, but due to some changes, this is a creeper only and spider only farm. So no skeletons and no zombies. You can actually make the zombies and skeletons spawn as well, but for now I just wanted to show you that it's actually possible to make it creeper and spider only. You cannot make it creeper, spider and skeleton only, cause in new Snapshot this has been fixed, so skeletons no longer spawn underneath the trapdoors, which is a downside indeed, but it's not gonna mess with all your contraptions, cause spiders and creepers will still spawn. So, let's have a closer look at this design. So, down here we have got an item clock, and this item clock is being used for the water dispensers. What does it do? Well, if I turn it on, which I'm not gonna do because it's as soon as the water gets out, it's gonna get extremely laggy because of all the block updates happening up there. Because Magma blocks remove water on top of them, and this is also counted as flowing water, which I hope they change, because it's not really lag friendly. But as long as you're just AFKing and you don't try to do anything else while the water is out, it's not gonna be a problem. And the water is only out for 3 seconds by this little thing over here. So what does this do? There is being given a monostable pulse from this torch over here, which then goes directly onto this repeater in 2 ticks, and then another monostable goes through all those repeaters over there and comes out here as well, and that will take 3 seconds, so it will flick, wait 3 seconds and flick again, and then your items will fall down to your collection system over there. The redstone signal will travel up from the side and will then activate the dispensers. The dispensers will fire once every 5 minutes, just before all the items disappear, which is perfectly for this farm and will definitely give you a lot of items and keep most spawning places spawnable. So let's have a closer look at the middle section over here. You can see that I used wooden fences to keep mobs from falling into the collection area, but still give the opportunity for items to fall through to the bottom. Those items will then be collected by hoppers right over here. I put some slabs on top of it to make sure no mobs are spawning on top of them, because their heads can actually spawn into the fence gates, which is really strange, but also a bit logical maybe. Then the items will go down into this storage over here, and you can see that we've got quite some string and gunpowder already from testing. But most of the items were going all the way directly into this dispenser right over here. They gave a little signal to this little command block so that I was able to see the actual rates of this farm. So if I show you, right there in the right hand of the screen, we can see statistics, and we can see that per hour it gives 5k of items, which is quite nice for the number of spawning places we have. So far, we have got 7 layers, and that equals, let me type it out, something like 1400 blocks. So that's how many spawning places we have and how many items we get for it in return. It's not the fastest, but it's a really cheap one, and it kills off the mobs quite quickly as well, because the mob will be instantly damaged once it spawns. It will be not instantly killed, but it will die really quickly, and as soon as it dies, a new mob can spawn in. No spawning spaces are obstructed, except for once every 5 minutes, and that's just really good. And if you want to know how I checked for the rates of this farm, I used this little contraption by Knambon and be sure to check them out. And let's get on with the tutorial. See you in a bit. 1, 2, 3, go! And now it's time for the actual tutorial. So, are you ready? Because I definitely am. Let's have a look at this design over here. So, what you're gonna do? Well, first of all, you are gonna use an area of 16 by 16 blocks with 2 more blocks on the outside for some extra redstone and blocks, but the spawning spaces are going to be in between 16 by 16 blocks, which is, this is block 1, then this will be block 16, and this will be 16 by 16. So keep that in mind when building this design, so you know the exact size correctly. From the dispenser, we are gonna have 1 normal block right over here. Make sure that it is not a magma block, because magma blocks will remove the water. And then we're gonna have 7 blocks out like this, and then over here we're gonna have the 7th block. Then we're gonna have 2 times 6, 7, 6, 6, 7, 6, 6, 7, 6, 6, 7, 6, 6, 7. So, can you keep up with that? Well, I hope you can, because for this, I'm not going to build it all separately again. I'm sorry for that, but I messed up with my recording, yeah, I was recording in 20 FPS, so I'm just running you through it right now, so I hope you're not worrying about that. We're gonna have 2 by 2 pillars in between the layers, or in between the holes, so you're gonna have these 6 by 6, and on the other side you're gonna have 6 by 6 as well, and then in the middle we're gonna have a 2 by 2 pillar, and we're gonna do this for every single hole that we've got. And then you will turn out with something like this. Next up, you wanna make 2 layers of iron blocks around the outside, and you want to make this 18 by 18. Do not fill in the inside, as you can see over here. Then you make these holes over here, and you're going to place 1 hole, 2 blocks, 1 hole, 2 blocks, 1 hole, and so on. And then at the very back you're gonna place a dispenser with inside of it a bucket with water. So once you've done that, well, then you can go to the on top of the dispensers and you can place down redstone dust all the way to the other side. You don't have to actually put the dust on top of this last dispenser, you can just place it right over here and it will also work. And the same goes for this one over here. And then you want to put a repeater on 1 tick delay on top of the very first dispenser. So let's get on going. So right now we're going over to the fences, and these fences are to avoid mobs from falling in, and we're gonna place them right next to the pillar like so. We're gonna have 3 on top of each other every single time, and if you can't place them, for example you want to place one over here, you keep right clicking, well, you can only place them with a block underneath, so that's why I've got the other fence gates underneath to place them. So that's just one thing to keep in mind when placing these fences. So I have just placed in all the fence gates, as you can see, and right now it's time to go on to the very next part, which is the redstone. So first of all, we want to have a look at this block right over here. And before we do anything, we can just bring it down a bit, like so, and connect up the redstone. So this is how it's going to look like. We're gonna have like a little circle with the redstone going around up to the next repeater. And then I want to teach you a little thing. Every 2 layers you want to have a repeater. So it's gonna be like this repeater is going to be placed at the very same spot as we just placed the redstone. I will show over here on this side how to do it. Well, normally we have this little circle going around. Now we just remove that block over there, place a full solid block right over here and there as well, redstone dust, and then a repeater on 1 tick delay facing into those blocks over there. So that's how you do it if you want to add like an extra repeater to it. And for the repeater, as I told you, it's going to be a repeater layer like this one over here, then one layer normally, another layer normally, and one layer with a repeater again. So I hope you were able to follow that, and let's get on with the redstone down below, because so far you have now got everything you need for a single layer, except for like the trapdoors. But the trapdoors are optional if you don't want skeletons and zombies to spawn in your farm. Well, then you can use the trapdoors to keep them from spawning. But that's all optional for yourself. So let's get on with the redstone down below. So once you have done all your layers, you want to go down to the very bottom layer and place down your hoppers just underneath the magma. So you've got the magma block right over here, and then you're gonna have your hopper right over there. And I will show it to you in this design over here. So what we're gonna do, well, we're gonna place 2 hoppers right over here, and now we're gonna make 2 lines of hoppers facing into each other, going all the way like so. We're gonna do this for the other side as well, so 1 extra line of hoppers like so, and then we're just going to place hoppers in the gaps in between the magma. So now all the hoppers are facing into each other and they come out at the very end over here. So next up is the item clock, which we're gonna make right over here. So we want to go to this spot right here, and we want to place 2 hoppers facing into each other. So the exact place is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks from the one over here. So there you've got it. Then what we want to do, we want to have 2 comparators facing out of these ones in the middle. So we're just going to place 1 comparator and another one right like so. Block up here, as well for this side, block up there. Then we're gonna have another block on the inside with some redstone dust on top of it. Then we're gonna have a sticky piston and a sticky piston on the other side and a redstone block like so. And that's your clock. Well, next up we're gonna place another block right over here and 1 right there and 1 up there. We're gonna do that for this one as well. So we're gonna have this little V shape, and then right here in the middle we're gonna grab ourselves a repeater and we're gonna place it like so. We're gonna do the same over here as well, and then we're just going to place 2 torches like so. And that's your redstone item clock. And now it's time for some crazy connectivity, and we're going over to this block over here and we're gonna place a block on top. Then we're going over to this side, and as you can see, normally it will be like so. So you have got a spiral going down, but for this one we want to remove these 2 blocks over here, place a full block right over there, place some dust on top of it. We want to grab ourselves a stone slab and we're going to place it right on this spot over here and 1 on this spot over here as well. So then we're just going to connect the redstone dust and it will look like so. Then we want to go down a block over here, place down our repeater, a block up here, and then on this side another repeater, a block, another block, and we connect it to the very special redstone torch. I'm just going to give it twice the signal to turn it on and off. So now it's off at the moment, which is actually what I want, so we're gonna leave it like so. We're gonna go some more blocks on this side and we're gonna place 5 of them. Then we're going inwards we're gonna place another couple, and we're going over like so. We can place a block right over here, and then we can place one repeater on 4 tick, two more on 4 tick, a block up here. We can go to the other side and place some dust right there. Now we can place 3 repeaters, all on 4 tick delay. A block up here. We can place some dust and 4 more repeaters like so, all on 4 tick delays. And that's your double pulse connection system done. Now you just have to mirror it on the other side, but I guess you can do that without a tutorial. So I'm gonna be right back with you once I've mirrored it. Okay, so now that we've mirrored it to both sides, we're just going to remove these 2 hoppers, which we placed at the beginning. We're gonna grab ourselves some normal chests, and we're gonna grab ourselves some hoppers as well. We're gonna place the chests all the way down like so, and you can extend this as far as you possibly wanted to. Then at the back, we're just going to run the hoppers into them, and you're ready to go on. So, next up, we're gonna put our items inside the item clock. And we're just going to clear our inventory, and we're gonna make 3 stacks of iron blocks. And we're gonna put them into the first item hopper. This should be fairly enough to keep your machine running at very high rates. So don't worry about it. Right now you will see that the redstone turned off, and your water will still be inside the dispensers, and it will soon start running. So this was actually all you needed for this farm, except for a few tips. Be sure to place some solid blocks on top of your redstone so no other mobs will spawn on top of here. Also, make sure you cover up the top of your farm so no mobs will spawn on top. And make sure that when you build it, you don't accidentally, let me grab an example, place a light source near your magma blocks. Because as soon as you do, and you remove it, these blocks will actually have copied the light source block, and they will now all, or the one you placed it on top, will now have light level, let me see, F3, will now have light level 13, which is way too high for mobs to spawn. But if we walk away from it again, it will drop down till 2. So make sure you don't place any light sources. Oh, there it goes. That's one of the flows. And it retracts again, and your items will fall down into your chest. So make sure you don't place any water sources, and I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it wasn't too crazy, cause it was a bit of a mess. I'm sorry for that. It's just I'm a bit sick, don't have a lot of time today, and I just wanted to get this video out. Also, you can place 2 levers over here to turn off your farm if you want to. And if the water is causing too much lag on your world, then don't use it unless you're going AFK, cause then it doesn't really matter. But this was me, GT. I really hope you enjoyed. I really hope you did. And be sure to follow up the experience next time. Cause guys, I'm signing out. Bye bye.